So, I don't know if anybody's watching yet, but I'm still trying to get myself together here. And I don't know if the stream's actually running yet or not. And you have to excuse my wheezing. See if there's anybody on yet. I see two people watching. I think I'm going to be one of them. So we got at least one person. So if you're in, right now it's just me and another person, it looks like. You can say hi in the chat. This is a little impromptu chat that I put up asking on my YouTube page if anybody wanted me to chat tonight at 11 o'clock. I didn't really have anything in particular to talk about. But I figured it's been a hot minute since I've did one of these. And figured I'd chat for just a few minutes and to see what everybody's up to. Anybody there going to say hi and chime in on the chat? Be nice to hear from somebody. And like I said, excuse my voice. So we got Captain BBX Gamer. Hey, I don't think I've ever seen you in one of the live chats, so welcome. Like I said, this is kind of a disorganized chat. It's not usual what I usually do. I really don't have an agenda. I've been sick all week. I went to DC last weekend with my wife and some friends, and we was up there during the cherry blossoms, and I guess I must have picked up like allergy cold or whatever, so I was sick all week, and I was gonna shoot a bunch of videos this week and just didn't get the chance to do it because this is the best my voice has sounded all week long. So we got another one. Let's see, who is that? Subscribe to Doodah Pie. And y'all are both new. I've never seen y'all in a live chat before, so at least I don't think I have. So welcome. I am kind of sorting out what I'm going to talk about. I want to talk a little bit about Record Store Day, which is tomorrow at 11. I think the store local to me opens at 11 o'clock, so I'll probably get there a couple hours early, maybe an hour early, to get I'm really only interested in one album that I know of. I might get there and see a couple laid out on the table. Real name is Max. Okay, Max. Have you gone by a screen name before? Because I know a young guy named Max that would check in on my live chats from time to time too. I don't know if you're the same person. And if you're hacking that noise, we have a Spitz, and it's funny because she has allergies, so she's hacking and coughing, and it's that crazy time of year here. So yeah, she's hacking and coughing. Want to talk a little bit about some things that I have, what's going to be going on in the channel. Yeah, you are the same Max. Okay, cool, Max. It's nice to see you. Didn't you also Max Tuber or something like that? You had one that was Max Tuber. I think that's the same you. I see we're picking up some people. Picked up about 5 other people other than me, so feel free. This is kind of a free-for-all. I want to hear from you guys. I don't want to be the only person talking. Feel free to ask any questions. Ask questions, I'll answer if I can. And like I said, I've had a couple videos go up. I'm putting the finishing touches on my next video, which is going to be the next video in the Kiss box set. And I'm trying to remember which song it is because I shot about 3 in a row one day, and I'm just now getting around to editing them. It's the next one is going to be Let Me Know. It's the Bell Sound. Um, it's the Bell Sound recordings. And yeah, no, I'm not going full Grizzly Adams. I've just and it's good to see. Hey, I've just been sick, and I haven't felt like shaving my head. I haven't felt like shaving my face. So yeah, I'm looking rather rough, and up till today, I was like, when I was talking, I could barely talk, and I'm still wheezing when I breathe in. I'm wheezing, and it's just an allergy cold. Maybe a little slight bronchitis. I got bronchitis. Now, remember that video? But so yeah, so the next video I'm going to be doing out of the box set here is Let Me Know, the Bell Sound recording. And right after that is going to be 100,000 Years, the Bell Sound Studios recording. So those will be the next two that's coming up out of the box set. Should see Let Me Know tomorrow. Let Me Know will be tomorrow, and 100,000 Years will probably be midweek. I'm also going to have a Type O Negative video come out. I don't know if any of you are fans of Type O Negative, but Peter Steele, their lead singer, he passed away on April 14th several years ago. I think it might have been 2010. So Type O Negative I'm a big fan of Type O Negative, and I have a video that me and my daughter did. My daughter Brittany, we did a review of their album Bloody Kisses. It's the one that's got Black Number One, and it's got Christian Woman, and just all these great songs on it. And so that'll be coming out on April 14th, Sunday, which is also my birthday. So I'll be 50 years old. So all of y'all out there calling me a fat old man, well, I am an old man because I turned 50 on Sunday, on April 14th. So let me check up on the texts here, and let's see what questions we got, if we got any, and I'll gladly answer them. Get your questions in if you have any. You're gonna so you're gonna meet Paul Stanley on May 8th at the Groove for his book signing. That's really cool. That's really cool. Raw Barber, I love Type O Negative. I love them too. I don't know if you've seen my video where I got there at the last record store day, which I'm talking about record store day tomorrow. The last record store day back around Black Friday, November, around Thanksgiving. I got their green press reissue of Bloody Kisses, and I did a review on it. But I'm going to record store day tomorrow also as well. Beers for the 50th. Yeah, I'll probably drink a beer or two. Probably drink me a good stout or a good porter on the 50th, on my 50th birthday. Awesome song, 100,000 Years. Yeah, and I really enjoyed listening to these versions that I've not heard very often, or not heard at all. The one for Let Me Know, I'd not ever heard it at all. Do I like Tom Petty? I do like Tom Petty, and he's not somebody that I really got really huge into, but I do like the songs I've heard, but I've not probably heard any of his deep stuff. But I like a lot of his older stuff. The stuff he did in the 80s was really cool, but I like the stuff that he did, the early stuff. And I know it came out in the 80s, but one of his favorite songs I liked from him was the song You Got Lucky. And I loved the video because it was like they were in like this futuristic, apocalyptic time and everything. And that's just some of the 80s videos, real early 80s videos were really cool. I went looking for trouble, and boy, I found her. There's my buddy Scott. Hey man, yeah, be sure, that's my Robert Henderson is a guy. He's been in my videos. He's reviewed some albums with me. Scott, be sure to check out that Bloody Kisses review with Brittany. We had a blast. We'd been out at a pub a couple hours before that, and each one of us had drank about 2 or 3 beers. So we were buzzing a little bit whenever we were shooting that video, and we had so much fun. She's been listening to Type O Negative since she was born, and she's a huge Type O Negative fan, and we had so much fun. Paranoid cover by Type O Negative is incredible. It really is. I like how they slow everything down that they do, and they put their own twist on it. Am I ready for spring break? Well, I really don't get a spring break. I get a day off. I get next Friday off and Good Friday, and that's really all I get. I'm not taking spring break off this year. Tom Petty, one of the best shows you ever saw. I never saw Tom Petty. You know, Scott, whenever me and you played that that college gig a couple Octobers ago, we played a few Tom Petty songs, and you know, the drumming, I played the drums and covered for Scott in one of his bands and played the drums. And his drumming is very basic. The drumming in his songs is very basic. So you can just kind of sit back and play the drums and just kind of enjoy the song, just holding the beat down, you know. Shamed you never picked up that box set. Yeah, I've only had it maybe a few months. I picked it up. Just happened to be laying in a record store. Now, I paid $40 for it, which Paul, who sent me a bunch of albums, told me I paid too much at paying $40. But I'd never seen it anywhere else. I saw it. It was $40. I had the money to buy it. It's 5 discs, so I figure it's less than $10 a disc. Plus, it's got a book in it. It's really cool. If you've not seen any of my videos, I'm not going to, you know, but it's in this hard case. And this is like metallic metal on it here. And you open it up, and it's got this, has all the songs. And then it's got this order form from the reunion / farewell. And then it's got these 5 discs. So it's got these 5 discs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think the 5th one is up here. No. Down here. Yes. And the 5th one's down there. And the discs, they go, this is 66 through 75 is this disc. And then it does 75 through 77 is that disc. And then it does 76 to 82. And then it does 83 to 99. 83 to 89. I'm sorry. And I'm getting blind as I get older. And then 92 to 99. So, yeah, and I'm looking forward to really diving into this. I've not listened to it. I've been taking my time and basically been going through it and letting you guys see me go through it as I've been making the videos. And like I said, if you're just joining in, I'm going to be probably putting out Let Me Know the Bell Sound recording from that, and 100,000 Years probably be out sometime middle of the week. Let's see. Type O Negative was such an incredible band for me because they were dark, slushy, heavy, same time melodic and beautiful, very unique. Peter Steele certainly left their stamp. And yeah, like Type O Negative has a sound that's not like, you know, not like a lot of bands. And when I always used to tell people I like Type O Negative, and they're like, oh, you like gothic music? And I'm like, no, I like Type O Negative. I've tried to listen to other gothic bands, and I just can't do it. But there's something about Type O Negative, and it has a tie back to me because of where my origins with Type O Negative originated. My friend Chris, who's no longer with us, my childhood friend that me and Scott both know, and Miss Daly, He introduced me to Type O Negative back in the 90s, right after Bloody Kisses came out. And it was, this was before October Rust. This was before, you know, World Coming Down and all those albums. And so he introduced me to Bloody Kisses and Origin of the Feces. I'd not heard Slow, Deep, and Hard until later, but he introduced me to those two albums. And I was a fan, and I became a fan, and like I said, they're near and dear to me, and basically not only because of them, but because my friend who introduced them to me. Robert says, we played You Wreck Me and Learning to Fly. Yep, we did. $40 is a steal. That's cool, because I've heard that, you know, oh man, you know, you paid 40, you know. Let's see. Raw Barber, I love Kiss, of course. That is what led me to your channel. I've seen them live March 17th. Incredible show. Tonight's Kiss show is in Jacksonville. They just came through here. They just came through North Carolina. They hit like, I think Raleigh, but now they're coming back because Charlotte, the city that's near me, has an outdoor arena. Our arena is called PNC Music Arena, and it's outdoors. So they're coming back in August. They're going to finish up in this leg, and they're going to go overseas for a little bit, play some dates in Europe and Germany, and then they're coming back. And I just saw where Ticketmaster has a 4-pack of lawn seats, because the way the PNC Music Arena is laid out, there's seats, and there's seats that's under the cover, and then there's some seats that's a little further back. It's not an arena like you would think like they've been playing in, where there's a floor, and then there's a lower level and an upper level, and it's like a bowl. This is more like your traditional old venues where you have the stage, then you have the floor seats, and then you have those are undercover. They call them the Gold Circle, and those tickets are like $1,100-$1,200. They're ridiculous. And then the seats that's towards the back of that and towards the uncovered seats are anywhere between $200 each up to $600 each. And then in the very back, they have what's called the lawn seating, where there's not seats. You can rent chairs, or you can put down a blanket and you can sit, and it's just kind of chill. And you're not far back, because it's not that huge of a place. It's probably one of the smaller places they'll play in, but it's still a pretty good size. And they've got a 4-pack you can get it after surcharges and everything, and seat rentals. You can get it for $180. You can get 4 tickets for basically $200. So basically $50 each. But I'm thinking about going and taking my son. And I think, Scott, don't you have tickets to that, Scott? I think you have tickets to that. You do. Okay. Robert said I'll be there. I knew you. He got some tickets, a good deal on tickets, and he tried to get me in on it. I've not made my mind up yet to get them. But I think I'm going to go, and I'm going to take my son, Steven, because he's never seen Kiss. And I've made him a Kiss fan with him doing reviews for me. So I've seen Kiss many times, and I know this is their last time. Hold on, let me drink. I know this is their last time, and don't get me wrong in what I'm about to say, but the Kiss that's now is not my Kiss. And it's not a Kiss that I 100% approve of. But I am still a Kiss fan. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, and I get a lot of shit for it. But I've been a Kiss fan since I was 7. So if you do the math, I'm almost 50. So I've been a Kiss fan for 43 years. So they're in my blood. Robert Henderson, I introduced him to Kiss. I have converted many Kiss fans throughout my life. And I've got my ass beat for being a Kiss fan. So, I mean, and I was a Kiss fan when a lot of the people that come on my page and troll me, I was a Kiss fan before they were even fucking born. So, and they come on there and have the balls to come on my channel and tell me that I'm not a Kiss fan because I call Paul and Gene out for their bullshit, saying, oh, you know, they're doing stuff now on this tour that they used to give people shit for, other bands that give them total shit for doing it, you know. And Paul especially, although I love Paul, I think he used to be a great singer. He's the best songwriter in Kiss. He's an amazing songwriter, and he used to have a kick-ass voice, but he's so hypocritical, and he will spin whatever truth he has to make himself seem right all the time. And the way that he has done and what he is doing now, I don't have a problem. If he needs vocal assistance, I don't have a problem with it. You're going to see a show, and that show is on not only audio but visual. So if I'm going to sit through and I want to see the visual, then I would rather him sound good than through the whole thing. So if he's going to use tracks, that's fine. But he's never flat out came out and said, I'm using backing tracks, I'm using assistants. He's not said that. But he's talked shit for the last 20, 30 years about bands that do. So that's my biggest beef. And the second biggest beef, while I'm on this tangent, and hopefully I don't start dropping people here and losing subscribers, but my second biggest beef is with the makeup that they have on Eric and Tommy. And I know people are like, oh my God, this debate. But I'm sorry. If it doesn't bother you, that's fine. If it doesn't bother you, that's fine. Go have a good time. I'm going to go and I'm going to have a good time with my son. When I actually buy my tickets, I'm probably going to make a video of it showing people, hey, I'm buying my tickets. You know, I caved for my son. Because this, you know, he don't have a Kiss. You know, he just came into being a Kiss fan in the last year by doing videos with me. So he don't have a Kiss. So he don't care. So he, you know, if he wants to go to the show, I'm going to take him to the show. Going to buy tickets. We're going to go father-son thing. And we'll have a good time. But, man, the thing with the makeup, I don't have a problem against Tommy. I don't have a problem against Eric. Eric's been in the band since, you know, way back. Eric plays on two of my favorite Kiss albums, Revenge and Carnival of Souls. Two of my favorite Kiss albums. Eric Singer plays the drum on them. Do I approve of Eric Singer singing Beth? No. I really didn't like Eric Carr singing Beth. And newsflash, Eric Carr really didn't like that they had him sing Beth, that they re-recorded it. They didn't have him do it during the concerts, but they had him on a Greatest Hits album, re-record singing Beth. And I think Gene and Paul basically did that to stick it to Peter. Because there's been no shortage of bad blood between Ace and Peter all the way back to the 80s. But if they were going to put makeup on anybody, whenever they were done with the farewell tour and Kiss decided to continue on with the makeup on, why didn't they put Vinnie's makeup? Why didn't they put Vinnie Vincent's makeup on Tommy? Why didn't they put, I mean, God rest his soul, and a lot of fans may have saw it as sacrilege, but why didn't they put Eric Carr's makeup on Eric? Isn't it not just sacrilegious to put Peter's makeup on Eric? If Peter was dead, would they have still? What if Peter would have died years ago? Would it have still been sacrilege to put Peter's makeup on Eric Singer because Peter was dead? Think about that. And why didn't, if Paul's so creative and this creative painter that he says he is, and he created the Ankh makeup and he created the Fox makeup, why didn't they just create new makeup? Because the Spaceman and Peter and the Catman, Ace's makeup and Peter's makeup sells tickets. They wouldn't be selling out as much as they are without their makeup on. Without the makeup on, period. They wouldn't be selling out as much. Even if they was doing the exact same show. If they were coming out dressed like they did in Revenge and leather and stuff and didn't have the makeup on, they wouldn't be selling as many tickets. If they had new makeup on Eric and Tommy, they wouldn't be selling as many tickets. Because those four original iconic faces sell. And one of the biggest, I know they're celebrating the history of Kiss, But every time I see a video of a concert from the End of the Road tour, it kind of makes my stomach turn a little bit when they're playing these songs and you see Tommy out there in Ace's makeup, and you see Peter, and you see Eric behind the drums in Peter's makeup, and they're showing these collages and these films of old Kiss with the original, Ace and Peter in the background. I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of puts a little salt in that sweet tea, and that's just my 2 cents. That's my opinion. And, like I said, I get attacked for my opinion. I get called everything from get out of my mom's basement. This is a spare bedroom in a $200,000 house. So this is not a basement. Get a life. I have a life. Get a wife. I have a wife. Don't I have anything better to do? I have a lot better to do. But I choose to do this for the fans out there that do appreciate it. So, do the trolls get to me? A little bit. But, hey, at least I'm respectable back to them. So, I've actually started replying to some of the trolls on some of my videos. And I'm respectful. And I always tell them, thanks for watching. Anyway, let me look at this. Let me get down here. If the Fonz is in here, he's going to be telling me, oh, God, man, you're talking too much. Let's see. I'll say that Kiss kicked ass. They looked great, sounded amazing. Show at Grace was bombastic. It's not my Kiss day either for the most part. You could tell when Paul was using Drunkle. I made Robert a Kiss fan. I've been hated for being a Kiss fan also. Bethany Dawn. Hey, Bethany. Not my Kiss. Paul had a great voice from 70 to 2006. Yeah, I mean, even on the Live 3 and even on the Millennial concert, he still sounded good. He sounded good during the reunion tour and everything. Just too much vocal gymnastics, man. First song I ever heard was Cold Gin off of Live. Yeah, Robert, Scott, I remember playing you many, many songs. Have you ordered the orange vinyl limited edition of Rock and Roll Over? Mine came in the mail yesterday. I have that. Yeah, I have it. The only one that I've not ordered yet is the clear version of this album. And I just got this album this week. My son Tyler was walking around downtown Morganton. And he saw this in a record store, and it was $7. And it's not the original sleeve. It's not a first press. I think it might be a second press, possibly. It has Kissin' Time on it. The one without Kissin' Time is the one I'm looking for. But man, it was $7, and it was in good shape. I've not played it yet. But let's see. And I've got some other things. I'm not going to show these too much, talk about them too much, because I'm going to make a video. But I went to a toy store in downtown Valdez, a town near me, and I got all this stuff I'm about to show you for $10. They're like, the guy's like, he had a stack of it laying on the floor, and I'm like, are you selling this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how much? He's like, $10. I got this on VHS. Got this postcard. It's got some water damage, but it's postcard. Got this postcard, Merry Kissmas. Got this book. I got this magazine. Got this. I got this Ibanez book that don't have the cover. Excuse me. Got this. Got this that don't have the cover. But it was during the reunion tour, because you see on the back, it's Metal Edge, the official Kiss Worldwide 1996-1997 tour book, and it's got some really cool stuff in here. Really cool shots. I hate it don't have the cover. And I've got this Metal Edge. It's got Marilyn Manson on the cover, but it does have Gene in it. And let's see, what else do I got? Oh, my son Steven bought me this for my birthday. This is Kiss Rocks Vegas. And it's a 2 LP DVD. It's not opened yet. And my orange translucent Rock and Roll Over, I believe, is this one. Yeah. The limited edition color vinyl. That's this one. It says limited edition there. So that's that one. It's one of my 5 or 6 versions of Rock and Roll Over I've actually got. So let's see here. Well, he is 185 years old. Let's see. Paul with backing tracks is still way better than Vince Neil live. Yeah, Vince Neil won't even halfway sing all the words to his songs. I'm not a big fan of Motley Crue live. I love their concerts, but I guess I don't like to watch videos of them live. I guess it's different when you're there. When you're there and you're in the experience and you're surrounded by the energy of the crowd and you see the stage and all the stuff that's going on and you're hearing the mix from the house and everything, it's a whole lot different and a whole lot more inviting and energetic than it is when you watch a video on YouTube. I do recognize that. Vince Neil butchers Kickstart My Heart live. He butchers Dr. Feelgood live. You know, he's usually like Ragtail Jimmy, Secondhand Hood, Down Hollywood. I mean, he butchers it really badly. Money's in the characters. Yes, Gibson Les Paul. You have exactly the same view on Kiss as Eddie Trunk. And a lot of people think that I listen to Eddie Trunk and I worship Eddie Trunk. I don't actually listen to Eddie Trunk that much, but I've heard that too. I've heard the same thing. People say I have the same view. I get having people in problem with Tommy and Eric wearing the makeup. I don't like how some people trash Tommy's guitar playing. Guitar playing. I've never trashed Tommy as a musician. I've actually not gotten to Sonic Boom or gotten to Monster yet on my reviews, but I'm close. I don't have many Kiss album reviews left to do. I've got Symphony left to do, and I've got Symphony, and then I believe Sonic Boom, and then Monster, and then Kiss Rocks Vegas. And then I'm going to do the solo albums, like Ace's post-Kiss solo albums, Peter's post-Kiss solo albums, Gene's solo album, Asshole, and Paul's solo album, Live to Win. I am going to review those also. And I do have a review coming up sometime within the week of Quiet Riot Mental Health. I'm going to be doing a retrospect on this. Look at here. It's a cassette. Y'all, some of y'all know what this is? Some of the young people, not trying to insult your age or anything, because cassettes are actually, I was listening to a podcast, and they're talking about how cassettes are now making a comeback. You know, cassettes were very convenient. They were small when it came to albums, you know. I mean, you know, look at that. They were very convenient. Not as convenient as CDs, but very convenient. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a retrospect on this album right here, coming up sometime this week. But I've never, you might be surprised on my Sonic Boom and Monster review. I don't trash Eric's playing. I don't trash Tommy's playing. The makeup and Peter Ace are iconic images of the band along with Paul and Kiss. Kiss was in decline with Eric Carr and Vinny. Yep, that's true. You know, I hear a lot of people saying that Ace and Peter sold the characters, and I know that Peter sold his. Peter sold his when he was, you know, down in the dumps and everything. And Peter gets a bad rap because you remember a few years back, way back in the 80s, like Donahue, where that news article came out that Peter had lost all of his money and was living in the streets and living under a bridge, and it turned out it was an imposter, and Peter was like, Peter was actually on the show and confronted the guy, and he's like, I'm not broke, you know. I mean, he wasn't as rich as he, you know. But even Gene and Paul, before the reunion tour, even Gene and Paul were living in modest accommodations compared to the mansions they live in now. They made a ass load of money off of the reunion tour and off of the farewell tour. And Ace and Peter, even then, were still just employees. They were never ever back in Kiss. Tommy and Eric are employees of Kiss. Gene and Paul are Kiss, and I would go even more to say that Paul is the head of Kiss, and Gene is, they're probably equal partners money wise, but even Ace and Peter were only making like $20 million off of those tours. They weren't making what Gene and Paul was, and that's what Ace's biggest beef was, is that they were selling, all this extra stuff and making all this extra stuff that they never fully disclosed up front that they were going to be doing it. Ace saw how much money that he and Peter, being back in that band, was making Gene and Paul. It was not split 4 ways. Gene and Paul will tell you that because they're like, these guys quit the band and they're not going to come right back in and get equal partnership with us because we're the people that kept the band going. And I kind of agree with that to a point. Put yourself in Gene and Paul's shoes, But at the same time, I do feel like that Ace and Peter should have been a little more compensated than they were. Because Gene and Paul made a buttload of money off of those 2 tours. And put them in the houses they're in now. But getting back to what I was saying, I think that Peter did sell his likeness, his image, and all that stuff, his trademark. But I've heard from more than one source and read from more than one source, even from Ace's mouth himself, that he leases his likeness and his trademark. You can look up the trademarks for the iconic face and the name, the Spaceman and stuff like that. He leases that. He said that his lawyer takes care of that, all that for him. So I don't think that Ace sold his trademark. Kiss is not a band. They're more of a brand. They're a nostalgia act. Well, they're a half cover band. I mean, in a way. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying, I probably got some shit talked about me later on down, but they're basically a tribute band at this point, but they're putting on a show. They're putting on a show. And they're playing more as a brand or as an act, just like a band would in Vegas. They're playing more as that. They're selling the show. They're not selling the individual songs or anything like that. They're selling a show. Liam says, I saw Kiss one time at Little Caesars Arena and one last Kiss show. It was not bad, but I could notice Paul was not singing. It sounded way better than the Monster Tour. As for their image with the makeup, it's been a tribute band for years. I agree. Mr. Trunk is a freaking moron. Well, and one of the reasons I can't listen to Eddie Trunk is he gets so over the top about a lot of stuff. You're in tour Psycho Circus twice on their original farewell tour, and then the Revenge tour. That's awesome. Eddie Trunk's caught in a time capsule. Bethany says, anyone who's been a fan of Kiss since the original lineup has the same view as Eddie Trunk. And that is a true statement, Bethany. That's a true statement. Because my Kiss is 70s Kiss. And I never really liked Vinnie Vincent. There was just something. I embraced Eric Carr from the very beginning. I hated to see Peter leave, but I embraced Eric Carr from the very beginning. Vinnie Vincent was always kind of, I know that what he did, his contributions with Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up basically saved Kiss's ass because it helped bring Kiss back to, hey, we're a rock band and we can be competitive in the heavy metal market now that is the 80s. And he helped them make the transition where they went through that jungle where they were lost with the Unmasked and the Elder. Even though I love Unmasked and I love the Elder, and some people say Dynasty, but I think Dynasty kicks ass too. Dynasty's not a disco album. It has a disco song, but it is not a disco album. And they went through that whole 79 to 81, 82 was really weird for Kiss. But I think they came out strong with Creatures. Creatures should have done a whole lot better than it did. It didn't. I think Creatures should have done as well as Lick It Up did. And then they just kind of built on it from there with, with Animalize and with Asylum. They just kind of built on from there. Let's see. Leo Fender sold the Fender Guitar Company. Fender still makes Strats and Tesla. The Fender's supposed to stop because Leo sold the company. No, but that's a different thing. To me that's a different argument, because that's a CEO changing. That's almost like a CEO change. Let me ask you this: if Kiss has been able to go on without Ace and Peter, and basically anybody in those two positions, because the drummer and the lead guitarist position has basically been a replaceable merry-go-round of different musicians since 79, 80. But could Kiss exist without Gene? Would anybody go see Kiss without Gene? If somebody was up there putting on Gene's makeup and sticking out their tongue and singing just like him and mannerisms just like him, but you knew it wasn't Gene? Or somebody who could get up there and sing the way Paul used to be able to sing and could jump around and the way they used to jump around and sounded like Paul, but you knew it wasn't Paul, and it basically became a tribute, a full-out tribute band, would you still go see them? Would they still be Kiss just because it says, Kiss? Would they still be Kiss? Because there's many bands out there that don't have any of the original members, I don't think. Does Lynyrd Skynyrd have any of the original members left? I mean, there's bands out there that, especially a lot of 80s bands that are playing, that do not have original members. But are they playing anywhere outside of clubs? They're not playing arenas. So are they playing anywhere outside of clubs? So if Kiss became a all replacement member band, like I said, I don't think it's just the magic. That's what people get a mistake. It's not that I'm sucking Ace's dick or drinking the green Kool-Aid. It's something to me. Now this is to me. It doesn't have to be for the rest of you. This is to me. There's something iconic and magical about the 4 original members of the band. Just as I think that if Ace and Peter were to come back, it would not be 70s Kiss. It would not. It could possibly still be a fucking train wreck. Because Peter is oldest member of the band, and Ace, the youngest member of the band, is still sloppy at best sometimes. Which sometimes I love Ace and his sloppiness. But Ace is lazy. Self-admitted lazy. Doesn't like to practice. I mean, Paul called him lazy up and down in his book and everything. Wouldn't even pick up amps and stuff. And you hear Ace get told that in an interview, and he laughs about it because he knows he's lazy. At least he embraces who he is. But if you brought Ace and Peter back and replaced Gene and Paul with replacement people, and you had that half of the original, I don't know if it'd do as well as it's doing with Ace and Peter being replaced. There's something about Gene and Paul. Like I said, they are what's kept Kiss going since Ace and Peter left. Peter was fired and Ace quit. And I hate that. I hate you constantly see Paul and Gene saying in those interviews that Ace was fired. Ace quit every single time. Fuck them saying that he got fired. Ace has quit. He's never been fired. Fact, look it up. He's never been fired. I've been a huge Kiss fan from the very first album. I definitely do not agree with Eddie Trunk. Well, David, like I said, I don't agree with Eddie Trunk in most of his things, and I don't like how he names drops. And I didn't know that my views lined up with Eddie's on what my preference of Kiss is, and like I said, I don't have no problem with Kiss other than those two guys wearing the makeup. But I'll still go see them. I love your videos. Really into audio and sound gear, kind of turntable speakers. And music do you listen on? Liam, you're going to laugh at me and you're going to hate me. Because I'm not an audiophile when it comes to vinyl. I'm an audiophile when it comes to like Bose and stuff like that, and my car and stuff like that. But I've not built out my home system vinyl yet. I have a Bose speaker system with a subwoofer and two small little satellite speakers like this one right here, and big Bose subwoofer on the floor. And I listen to my vinyl on a Crosley, this right here, this thing right here that my laptop is sitting on. It's a Crosley all-in-one CD burner, cassette player on the side, record player. And I know everybody says these things are crap, and I know that they do. But you know what? It doesn't wreck my records. I keep my needle clean. It doesn't wreck my records. It actually has a little adjustable thing on it on the toner arm. I think it's one of the more expensive Crosleys. But someday will I have a Audio Technica turntable going through a tube amp? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Let me catch up here, guys. Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's switch gears here for a second. Subscribe to Dude I Pie says, Ace Frehley's new Instagram post on Record Store Day is to pick up the Spaceman poster disc and poster in US, Canada, Europe, and Australia on Saturday. That's one of the only reasons I'm going out to Record Store Day tomorrow. It's to get that Spaceman picture disc. I'm going to get in line a couple hours early. Hopefully I'll be able to get one. I've heard some record stores are only getting maybe 1 to 2 to 3 copies. So that's the only reason that I'll be going out. I'll look on the table and see what else he has. But that's what I'll be going for, is that Spaceman picture disc. Raw Barber, with all due respect, Ace and Peter shouldn't have been split 4 ways. I agree. I do agree. They didn't deserve that. But I think once Gene and Paul were done with them, they tossed them back to the side. They never were going to be permanently back in the band. And then, after they were done with them, they've done nothing but talk shit about them since, which, again, pisses me off. See, you have to remember something, folks. I've been a Kiss fan so long, and all the trolls on Kiss on my channel can say I'm not all they want, but I know my truth. I've been a Kiss fan for so long that they're like family to me. And when you have brothers and sisters, you don't like for your brothers and sisters to fight. And you don't like for one of them to talk shit about the other behind the other's back. And you don't like for there to be you don't like for there to be dysfunction between them. And when one of them's wrong, even if it's a brother or sister that you love, if they're wrong and you know they're wrong, you call them out on it. And you say, you're wrong, you know. And that's how I feel with Kiss. There's been shit slinging both sides of the camp between all four of them for way too long. Hell, they even wrote a song about it on Psycho Circus called "You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best." It was like a tongue-in-cheek, you know. Like there's a line in there, Ace, where Ace says, "Don't tell me not to play because it's not your place." You know, I mean, you know, if you listen to the words of that song, it's very tongue-in-cheek. And it basically just epitomizes all the shit talking that they did about each other before that. Well, then Paul especially, and Gene especially, has had nothing good to say since then. I've actually heard Gene in an interview talking about after the farewell tour, if you have a car and it's got two fucking flat tires, you don't keep driving with the tires, you replace the goddamn tires, is basically what he said. And I think that's bullshit. These guys made you millions of fucking money. You know, have some decency to not, you know, shit all over them and feel like you did them a favor. You know, like I said, I still love Kiss. I listen to their music every day. Every single day. And I can't remember the last day I didn't listen to it. But some of the stuff that they as people and as individuals do totally piss me off. But it has nothing to do with their music. But it totally pisses me off. Let's see. And, you know, Wally Brown says scab kiss. You know, I don't, you know, I hear that term and scab kiss, yeah. You know, Tommy and Eric are just doing what they're just doing what they're getting paid to do. I mean, they're employees, you know. If they may love the makeup. They may love wearing it. But if Gene and Paul was like, okay, guys, we're taking the makeup off now, they'd take the makeup off, whether they wanted to keep it on or not. Why? Because they're employees and you do what your boss says or you go find another job. So this is a job to them. This is Gene and Paul's business and they're employees. You know, Trunk is a douche. If Ace owned the trademark, that image would be all over his record covers. Not necessarily. I don't agree with that argument. Not necessarily. There can be that he can't use it because he does have an album named Spaceman. Think about that. He has an album named Spaceman. So he at least has the right to use that. And but it could be in the contract that as long as you are leasing us your image, you cannot use it. Because that would, you know, because he still plays Kiss songs. I mean, he still does Love Gun. You know, he didn't write Love Gun. How's he playing Love Gun? Well, he probably has some kind of agreement with Kiss. Because don't get me wrong. And don't fool yourself. If it was not agreed between Ace's manager and Kiss's manager, or their lawyers, more probably not the managers, the lawyers. If it was not agreed that Ace could charge money and make money selling tickets, recording or performing Kiss songs that he did not write, he would not be playing them at his shows. So, you know, and you say, well, you know, as long as he pays royalties or whatever. Yeah, you know, like I said, there is an agreement there. Just as there's an agreement with that makeup, and there could be. I don't know. I'm not there. I've had people go. So what kind of fucking authority are you? I'm no more of an authority than you guys are. I'm just telling you this is my opinions and this is my thoughts, right or wrong. You know. So it's a Vegas act now. Yep. Creatures of the Night tour should have been done well like the album. It should have, but they actually started off. You know, they had the tank, and it was a tour that I got to see, and nobody came. Nobody came. People had already given up on Kiss. You got to remember, this was after The Elder, and The Elder was supposed to be the album that they promised was going to kick ass. After Unmasked, they were like, we're going to come back with a heavier album. And Ace had already started working That's when Ace was starting to get fucking pissed off about it, because Ace was in. They were supposed to record that album in Connecticut in his studio, in Ace and the Hole Studios, and Ace had already started working on tracks. And then Bob Ezrin got involved, and his cocaine head turned it into what, with him and Gene. He took Gene's couple line idea of a story that could basically be any, you know, Lord of the Rings or whatever movie, you know, Game of Thrones, now The Boy, that, you know, oh, you know, he's the chosen one. Moved to Vancouver, and Ace stayed behind in Connecticut. Ace was like, fuck this, you know. So that was his last album that he was kind of involved on. He appeared contractually on the cover of the album of Creatures, and he was credited, and even in some promotional material, some promotional videos and interviews, and even in the I Love It Loud video, but he did not play on the album. And I talk about that in my Creatures of the Night review. Let's see. I'm just catching up here, guys. Yeah, Peter's the oldest member of the band. Yep. Ace is the youngest. Paul's just a little older. Skynyrd has one original member. I thought they might have had one. Kiss needs the characters. They don't need Ace and Peter anymore. Well, not everybody agrees with that sentiment, Gibson Les Paul. But like I said, I don't know. I've seen Ace, don't get me wrong. I love Ace, but he hasn't played his true level since the 80s. Ace plays really good in the studio, but I've not been very impressed with what I've seen on YouTube Live, but I've not been to any of his concerts. I only saw when Kiss first started. They had to carry their equipment. Paul told Ace to carry his equipment, and Ace said, I don't carry shit. Yeah, that's basically true. If I ran a company, would I trust Ace and Peter to show up? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And that's probably the best, one of the best reasons why they're not on this tour. Ace and Paul and Gene do bullshit a lot to control the narrative. Yeah, especially Paul. Paul's really been controlling that ship. Yeah, I agree with what you said, Gibbs. They have bringing in replacement players. They've been able to keep most of the money to themselves, and they have really grown the brand. They've entertained millions of fans. They made loads of money. I don't know how many more new fans they've made, but because from what most new fans that I know of, they don't care for. In my experience, and I don't know all Kiss fans, but in my experience, most new Kiss fans that I know, they don't like albums like Monster. They didn't like Sonic Boom. Most Kiss fans that I know that are new, they came on around Psycho Circus, and they liked Psycho Circus. And I know a lot of people that are Kiss fans that like albums like Revenge, and they like Carnival of Souls, believe it or not. Carnival of Souls is still a very relevant album. And I've had some people, they're like, I don't like Carnival of Souls. It don't sound like Kiss. And I'm like, that's the best thing about it, is it don't sound like Kiss. It doesn't sound like anything they've ever did. That's one of the reasons why I like The Elder. It don't sound like anything they've ever did. So, yeah. Yeah. And Gibson Les Paul, you know, I mean, I'm not going to make the argument about that. I don't know. I'm not Ace's lawyer. I don't represent him. So I don't know if he owns it or not. But I've seen an article where Ace himself said that his lawyer is the one who handles his image and his likeness of the spaceman likeness makeup for him. That because they specifically asked him, do you own your makeup or did you sell it? And he said, my lawyer takes care of all that, but I do still own the rights to my makeup, and that we lease it out. I'll find it and post it somewhere sooner or later. But this is Ace too, so who knows? Ace can play any Kiss song he wants. Let's see him try to reproduce and sell it. Spaceman is a common term. It's not a trademark. It's in a dictionary. He uses zero imagery from Spaceman characters, so the likeness is not used on the record. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of common terms that are trademarked. I mean, Gene Simmons trademarked a money bag and trademarked the term end of the road. And the end of the road is, this is the end of the road. It's been around, that term has been around for years. So just because something's common language don't mean it can't be, trademarked. I have a window right behind me, and, and I've got windows in my house, but according to Microsoft, the Windows is trademarked. So, I mean, I said we're splitting hairs. It's neither here nor there. It's not going to change anything. Ace told Trunk he leases it just to save face. Where's the proof he owns it? Well, the trademark, like I said, you can look these trademark patents up. You just have to go online. I know a guy, he made a video about it. I can't remember about Ace's. I may do some homework on it and find out myself. And even if I came up with definitive proof and showed it, and showed trademark, owned by Ace Frehley or owned by Paul Frehley or whatever, some people still wouldn't believe it. They'd tell me to get out of my mom's basement and get a life and get a girlfriend. And I could get a girlfriend, but I don't know if my wife would approve of that. So, she's pretty open-minded, though. I saw Kiss in 2010 in Phoenix, California when I was 5. Saw them for the 9th and first time in Vancouver and Tacoma. I'm 14 now. In my opinion, they put on an awesome show. And that's cool. Like I said, I've not told anybody. That's the thing. I've had somebody say I was trying to derail the tour a couple times, and I'm not told anybody not to go. And hell, like I said, I'm even toying with the idea of going. I've not bought the tickets yet, but I'm even toying with the idea of going. More for my son than me. But go and have a good time, And if this is the Kiss that you love, with the people that's in it now, with Tommy in it and with Eric in it, if it's the Kiss you love, that's your right. And, I'm not going to argue with anybody, and I'm always going to be respectful of people's opinions, just like I want them to be respectful of mine, and they're not always. And some people can't have rational discussions. They have to start name calling and all this other stuff and belittling and stuff. And that to me just means you don't have, all that shows me, if you do that, is you don't really have an argument. You just want to be a troll. Some people just get their goodies off on being a troll. They write and then they sit back and they're like, oh, I told him, but you took the effort to comment. So, let's see. As for playing Love Guns and songs he didn't write, Kiss playing live has no legal breaches. Stone Sour plays Love Gun live. Yeah, but don't think a band couldn't throw a cease and desist on you if they wanted to. I mean, I'm just saying, I've been in the music business too. I've been in and out of bands. I've signed contracts, and I know a band that was playing a song that got a cease and desist from the artist that wrote the song, because the artist was not pleased with the way that they were performing it live. They were taking a song that wasn't nasty, and they were altering it, and that could have been what got them in trouble. But they were just putting their own little version on it, and they got a cease and desist, a actual legitimate letter from a lawyer. 3 Tribes produced docs on their podcast that states that Stores Kiss owns all 4 images. Yeah. But that's 3 sides too. So, you know, this month Ace Cellular will be 68. Ace told Eddie Trunk that he can wear the makeup. FAQ had a show on the trademarks too, I believe. Yeah, you know, honestly, I respect Jillian Gill of Kiss FAQ a whole lot more than I respect 3 Sides. You know, and, you know, like I said, it's, do I listen to 3 Sides? Hell, fuck, no. Those guys are dicks. I hate 3 Sides, especially that pompous ass, whatever his name is that runs it. Hate that guy. No, I don't listen to 3 Sides. I used to way back before I even had a Kiss channel, before I even had my channel, and they bored me. I'd rather listen to I listen to Ralph Vieira a lot. I listen to Kiss My Wax a lot. And I listen to Kiss FAQ. And I used to listen to Kisstory Science Theater a lot, but they don't make a whole lot of videos anymore. I used to listen to Pot of Thunder a lot. When they would dissect Kiss songs, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I don't really care for, out of all the Kiss podcasts that I've heard, I don't really care for 3 Sides at all. And it's not because they personally attacked me on one of my Twitter posts. I didn't like them before then. Hey, Kiss, also Nintendo fan and everyone's friend. Hey, I see you around on some other things, and it's cool to see you. I'm just reading the comments here, guys. I got you guys on my phone here, so just reading the comments. If anybody has any questions, does everybody still love me? Am I still everybody's friend? Or do you want to tell me to fuck off? Or, I mean, you know, we're just talking like if we were sitting around the table having some beers or drinking some coffee. We're just talking, and we don't have to have the same opinion. That's the beautiful thing about being individuals. And looking at a band like Kiss has been around for 4 decades. So, you know, and more, you know. So, 4.5 decades. So, they've been around so long and have so many fans that have come in and out of their history that you're going to have all these people that have all these different opinions about them and everything. And so, and that's cool, you know. Someone shoot Jillian Gill a message and end this silly debate once and for all. That's funny. Jillian Gill started following me on something. I can't remember if it's on Facebook or I'm on Facebook. Facebook, it's In My Head YouTube channel on Facebook. And on Twitter, it's at Brent Meredith. And on Instagram, it's DrummerGeek69. I don't have my unified, and I have a website coming soon. Probably be In My Head YouTube, In My Head channel.com or something. I don't know. I hadn't secured the domain yet, but that'll be coming. Let's see. Yep, he gets very ratty. Comments don't agree with him. He's a douche. Yep. How did they attack you? Details. Source Player 65. I posted on Twitter when I posted my Paul Stanley Caught Again video, which now I posted Caught way back. It's probably been a few months ago, and it hit over 150,000 views. It caught that YouTube algorithm and hit 150,000 views. I think it's 160 now. And it was blatant. And, you know, Paul was 3 feet away from the mic, had his back turned, and the yeah came out. And all the people came out defending, oh, he could have screamed 3 feet away. That mic would have picked him up because those mics are that good. Or, well, I'm like, well, his head was turned back towards Peter or back towards Eric. So, oh, that was Eric that did the scream. Oh, that was a tracked scream because it's iconic. And, you know, oh, that was Gene that did the scream, you know. And I was like, no, those are all not probable reasons. And so the next video I caught was where he was Heaven's on Fire. And it was the part where he was up at the mic and he was saying, there's hunger in your eyes. And when he says eyes, he looks down. And people are like, oh, you asshole, you cunt. You don't obviously know how microphones work, that they can pick up stuff like that. I'm a guitarist, I'm a singer, I'm a this, I'm a that. And microphones can still pick up, you know, stuff like that. And my argument to that is, and I don't know because I'm not their equipment technician, but I know that most people, and like I said, I've been in and out of bands since I was 13 years old. And I've played many a shows and ran sound, recorded sound, worked with microphones. I know what microphones are, what they do, what they don't do. I know the different types of the microphones, the condenser mics, dynamic mics, unidirectional, omnidirectional. I know about all the different kinds of mics. And they're like, it's an omnidirectional mic. It picks up from all around. And I'm like, but typically for a singer in a live environment, they do not use a omnidirectional mic. They use a unidirectional mic that records what is right in front of it, not around it, and that's why they eat their mics. That's why they have their mouth right on the mics, because they try to get as close as they can, because the sound engineer has the gain on that mic turned down. So they're having to get right up on it. So if you back away from it, or if you turn your mouth down away from it, where it's basically at your head, that sound is going to drop. And go back and watch some of the 70s videos and 80s, and I know that it was like, oh, 70s and 80s. Microphone technology's not changed that much. And you watch Paul sing during the 70s and the 80s, and when he looks down at his guitar, his voice goes away. Is he using a backing track in that? I think so. That's why I made a video that said that he was caught again using a backing track. That's my opinion. These videos, my opinions. Somebody's like, well, you take your opinions and present them as fact. I might have said, if I'm pretty sure about something, I might have said it's a fact. But I really kind of reserve not saying it's a fact. I say it's my opinion. So, anyway. But, getting back to answer that question. The question, how did they attack me? I posted it on my Twitter saying, caught again. And the very first comment was from Michael Brainvoid or Bragvoid or whatever fuck his name is. It was a guy that's really fat. And I'm a rotund guy. See? Look. I'm a big guy. 6'2", 210. 6'2", 310. So I'm a big guy. But it was a big fat guy with no shirt on in a computer, looking at a computer, and he's like, I caught Paul Stanley lip syncing or whatever. And I'm like, is that your argument? Is that your intelligent rebuttal? Is to say, oh, I'm fat. What if I would have done, you know what, I'm not even going to say what I could have done. Because it's evil, what I could have done. But if we're going to start attacking appearances, I could have been really evil. and rebutted, but I didn't because I'm a bigger person than that. Let's see. Kiss Into the Road tour is #2 tour right now, right behind Elton John. I knew the tour was going to be big. I heard a lot of people saying they didn't think the tour was going to be big. I knew it was going to be big. And the reason why it's going to be big and the reason why they're selling out is a lot of things that they're doing now. The show that I'm going to possibly go see is not going to be here until August. So it is still 4 months away. And they're already offering what they were originally, the lawn seats were originally $89 each. And then after the tour went on sale for a little while, they dropped to $69. And then they dropped to $59. And now they're offering 4-pack for right around $200. So they've dropped the tickets. If you bought 4 of them at a time, you're getting the tickets for $50. So as the dates get closer, if the arena or the area or the wherever they're playing, if it's not full, they will start dropping the seats, the prices, to get a butt in that seat and sell that ticket, because $40 is better than $0. So, so they'll do that. They'll start dropping the prices as the event gets closer. So that's how they're selling out a lot, is because the ticket prices are dropping as they go. Let's see. How many Kiss concerts have I seen? 8 or 9. Dynasty was my first tour. I was 9 years old in '79 when I saw Dynasty. I've been a Kiss fan since I was 7. My first Kiss album was Destroyer, and then Kiss Alive 2. I remember those albums coming out. I remember the solo albums coming out. And then I saw, after Dynasty, they didn't tour for Unmasked here. They toured for Unmasked in Australia, so I didn't see Unmasked. They didn't tour at all for The Elder. I saw the Creatures tour, and it was only, like I said, what I was saying earlier, they had the tank and everything, but they had a curtain where they had blocked off half of the arena. They had blocked off half of the arena and was only selling the front part of the floor and the sides, and was not selling the balcony, the top, the nosebleeds, and they still was open seats. And I saw, let's see, I didn't see the Lick It Up tour. I saw Animalize. I saw Asylum. I didn't see Crazy Nights tour. I saw the Hot in the Shade tour. I saw the Revenge tour. And I saw the Reunion tour. But I didn't see the Farewell tour. So I don't know how many that is. I didn't count. But those are all the tours I've seen. And I think I saw them on the Animalize tour twice. Or it might have been the Asylum tour twice. One of them I saw them twice on. Let's see. I'm going to have to cut this soon here because I think my phone's dying on me. And I won't be able to read you wonderful people's comments. Let's see. I find it great you're so into Kiss. When Dynasty came out, Rumors of Disco, I turned to The Who and the Stones. Three Signs of Corn is essentially evangelist-esque fanatics who can't admit that Kiss does anything wrong. If you have a slice of different opinion, they'll flame you. It's creepy. That's true. That's true. And Kiss can do wrong. And Kiss does do wrong. And you have to be able to recognize that and see that, just as you do in other people. You have to recognize and see, even if they're your favorite band or your lifelong favorite band, you still have to recognize when they do things wrong. Michael Brainvold is a prick. Oh, I need to show that. Comes off as a major deuce. Doesn't respect anyone who opposes what he's trying to sell. That's true. Mean-spirited and tired old swinger jokes. Tittering like preteens. Brent, right now, Kiss in the Road is #2, tour behind Elton John. Do you think they'll be a Bon Scott biopic? I don't know, man. Uh, I don't know. A lot of people, I really hate it because most AC/DC fans, I, I don't does. I know AC/DC fans. They know who Bon Scott is, but it's like they like Brian Johnson a whole lot more. I'm more of a Bon Scott person. Michael on Three Sides has basically become the press secretary for Kiss. I agree with that, but they do have some really good guests. Mark's asked Greg's questions. I hate to say that's how Paul Stanley pretty much is these days. I've actually seen Paul handle criticism better than that guy. They're all nut jobs, with maybe the exception of the Tommy guy. Mark is cool, but he gets caught up trying to give too much info. I've actually heard Gibson Les Paul. I've actually heard that they have almost like a. You're talking about Paul's using backing tracks. The sound guy mixes it in. I've heard that the way somebody explained it to me, it almost works like a gate, like a compressor gate would. That they have a backing track that's running because everything is clicked, and everything is clicked and everything is timed. And the reason why everything is clicked and everything is timed with the pyro that they run and the synchronization of the pyro that they run and the synchronization of the octagons coming down and all the stuff that's shown on them. There's not a person that can run all those individual things. So they have computer programs that run it. And so the songs, each individual song is a program and it clicks off. And Eric hears a click track. I've been a drummer, like I said, I've drummed everywhere from churches to bars. And I've drummed in churches before where there's a click track and they're actually telling you, you getting instructions in your ears. Click, clap, count off now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you click, 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 and you start. And then it comes up on it, and as you're playing, it's like first verse. It gives you prompts telling you what's coming up in your ear set. They're using a tracking of some sort. But what I've heard is that the vocal track on certain songs is playing. And if Paul gets up and sings loud enough into his mic, that that gate chooses to put Paul's vocal through, and it comes in over the track instead of the track. And if he backs off to a certain threshold, then the backing track takes over. Or if he just chooses to not sing at all, if he just gets up there and moves his mouth, then it's coming through. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not their sound guy. He's using backtracks. I noticed live in concert. I've seen him in Cleveland. Here's what I think it's funny. I think it's funny when Paul sings a song and he sings it perfectly. And then he sings this note and it sounds so great. And then he gets done, and right after he gets done singing, he talks to the audience. He's like, "How you doing?" And it's like his voice starts cracking just talking to the people. And I'm like, how did you just sing what you just sang when your talking voice sounds like that? Like I said, but it's a show. Go enjoy it. I'm just saying. Let's see. Kiss is selling out fast like they did on the farewell tour. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're selling out fast, but like I said, my show has been on sale since the very beginning, and it still has 4 weeks or 4 months to go, right at about 4 months, and just a little under, and it's still it's way far from being sold out. Will it sell out? Yes. You're going to have a big surge of people come to watch at the very end. The tickets prices are going to get really low, and it'll sell out. I think it's going to be the end of the brand Kiss and the return of the band Kiss. Just reading here. Yeah, like I said, I think Paul Stanley, Raw Barber, I agree with you. I think Paul Stanley is an amazing entertainer. Like I said, I don't have anything against Paul as as an entertainer, as a songwriter. I mean, as a singer, he's not as good at. But I mean, the guy's almost 70 years old. So I mean, your voice can't last forever. And if you got to use the assistants of backing tracks, so be it. Because like I said, they're trying to put on a show. They're selling the brand Kiss, not the band Kiss. So if you got to do it, I just hate that he talked so much shit about people in the past for doing it. And, I mean, Paul has even said in an interview about Kiss going on without the makeup and other people wearing Ace's makeup and Peter's makeup, that would be diluted, that the band would be diluted. But yet, here's somebody in the band now wearing Ace's makeup and Peter's makeup. I don't know. Paul seems to say at any given time what's going to best benefit him and Kiss at that point in time. And he forgets things that he said in the past. Power Ranger, you got Power Ranger plushies and Bohemian Rhapsody on DVD. Bohemian Rhapsody is an amazing movie. I know a lot of people, they picked it apart like they did The Dirt, but I enjoyed them both for entertainment. I don't expect a movie to be an accurate portrayal of anything because it's a movie. And it's based on events. And I know that they're supposed to, especially The Dirt was supposed to be a biopic, but they took a lot of liberties with it, just like they did with Bohemian Rhapsody. But I think they're both great entertainment with omissions and with timelines skewed and stuff, and creative liberties taken. I still think they're both good movies. And guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up soon because my phone's going to die, and I do not have a charger in here. Let's see. End of the Road concert. I bought a tour book. I'm going to probably buy one too. I need to do that. I need to pull out all my tour books. I won't do it tonight, but I need to pull out all my tour books. Hey Daniel, EDOA. Nice to see you. Can you play a bit of drums for us sometime? Sure. I got some pieces on my kit that I'm needing to replace. And musician's friend had got some felts and stuff I need to replace on my cymbals. But right now I've got my drums. I've got the felts and stuff take off, but I've got the drums covered up. I'll show you right here. But I've got them covered up there. There's it's a Tama kit under there, and I've got Manai cymbals, and like I said, I got to put the felts on them, and I need to get a new clutch for the hi-hat. But yeah, I've got them covered up to keep them from echoing so much when I'm in here. Let's see. Gene Simmons used to be a teacher. Yes, he did. In the road tour. Hey, Kiss Army Rocks, how are you doing? Kiss meets the Phantom Park is the only 100 correct biopic. Pick it apart all you like. It's bulletproof. That's hilarious. Daniel ETA, I have a little baby. No, I have 3 grandchildren. I'm old enough to have grandchildren. So I have 3 grandchildren. One is turns 1 year old this month. One is a year and a half old, and those are 2 grandchildren, 2 grandsons. And my oldest grandchild is 2 years old, 2.5 years old, and she's a granddaughter. And so I have grandchildren. I have 5 kids, ages 20 to 27. I have 3 girls and 2 boys. I've been married 19 years. And yeah, so a little bit of personal history there for those of you who care. I am a real person. VIP packages are expensive. Yes. Yes, they are. Before your phone dies, remember everything dies. I like the pun. Yeah, everything does die, including my phone, in 2%. Let me see if this charger works. If any of y'all is even interested in hanging out some more, see if this charger for my Yui Boom works. Let's see, does it? No, it's wrong. It's not a USB-C. It's a USB Type 2. So it does not work. Alright. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because like I said, I won't be able to see you commenting. And that's kind of pointless if I can't see you commenting. And I am going to shave probably tomorrow. I am so grizzly. And it's all white because I'm just getting so old. But yeah, I'm going to shave. And be looking for that video tomorrow. Just talking about everything that's going to be coming out. There'll be a video tomorrow of another retrospective review from the Kiss box set for Kiss's Love Her All I Can, a demo recorded at Bell Sound Studios. There's going to be a Typo Negative album review with my daughter Brittany. You asked about my kids. My daughter Brittany, she's my second oldest daughter. She lives in Greensboro, North Carolina. She's married and she doesn't have any kids. And she is going to be doing we did a review for Typo Negative's Bloody Kisses. And we reviewed this album right here. Let's see. Yeah. Knocking stuff off. We reviewed this album, Bloody Kisses. This is my record store day version of it. We reviewed Bloody Kisses. And this is also a Record Store Day exclusive. It's got Typo Negative doing I Don't Want to Be Me on one side. And it's got Trivium doing I Don't Want to Be Me on the other. And these are what the albums look like. There's 3 albums in here. And they are green vinyl with black swirls. So that's what they look like. That's actually a little pale on that camera. It's actually a deeper green, almost like a Hulk green. But there's 3 albums in there. And I don't keep albums in with my, I don't keep the albums in my things because I don't like to have rings. So I always take my albums out of the covers. And I put them in the back. That's why you'll, well, if they're open. If they're sealed, I leave them in there. But if they're an open album like this, my original Hotter Than Hell, the album is in the back. So yeah, this is all my Kiss stuff Kiss albums over here. But anyway, yeah. So where was I? Oh, Typo Negative review coming out on Sunday in honor of Peter Steele's passing on April 14th, which is also my 50th birthday. So I'll be 50 on April 14th. And then sometime next week, there will be a second Kiss album review, probably around the middle of the week, for the demo for 100,000 Years off of the Kiss box set as well for 100,000 Years. And yeah, so we'll just keep going for there. I appreciate all you guys watching. I appreciate Anna Cannot Kill the Battery. This dude, I love him. Who is his name? Henrik Olsen. Where are you from? Are you international, Henrik? And I'm probably destroying your names. Let's see. Thanks for going live. Good night. For reference, everything dies. Not include the kids. Ball VIP package for low. Cannot Kill the Battery. Satan Loves Us All. Good night. And with that, my phone just died. So guys, I can't see what you're saying. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with me, taking the time to hang out for this live chat. I appreciate all the interaction and the comments. If you've not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And if you came in and you caught the last part of this or you missed any of it, I'm going to have it up on my channel. It'll be live. It'll be where you can replay it. So that YouTube should have that come up in just a little bit so you'll be able to replay it. Anyway, I'm Brent. You know the drill. This is In My Head channel, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time in the next video or in the next live feed. So take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. And thanks for hanging. This is really cool. And stop streaming. And stop.